Well, it's Gary again, K5GRY, and I've been asked to give a more in-depth video of my HF setup, the Icom-718, the LDG 100 auto tuner, and the Ultimax antenna. And I know you know from my page I have 3 of the Ultimax. Currently I'm using the DX Extreme. So let's get started. Well, here's my little setup for my radios. I've got my power supply on the bottom left, my VHF rig next to it, and above that my SWR meter, external speaker for my VHF rig, and an external speaker for the HF rig. You really don't need that with the Icom, because on the Icom you got the speaker in the front. But I did it because it gives me just a little bit more bass. And of course the IT-100 LDG auto tuner up there. Recently bought me a little external mic, desk mic, to go for with the Icom. But I'm going to be changing that out. I have a mixer coming. And I've bought me a studio mic to go with my HF rig. I'll show you that here in a little bit. But let me get back to the back of this and show you exactly how I have it set up. Alright, here we are at the back of the 718. Here's my auto tuner. And on the back of the tuner where it says antenna, I think you can see that, this is where you plug in your coax running from your antenna. Here's the ground wire going to my ground. This is a jumper piece of coax coming from the transmit, and it goes to the back of the Icom radio. And then over here where it says radio, you plug it into the back of the tuner. And that plugs into the interface on the Icom. And this lets you operate the auto tuner from the front panel of the Icom. Now keep your ground wires as short as possible. I have about 4 feet. I have my radio set up to the exterior wall. And it's going right outside the other side of the wall to where I have my ground rod located. And that's all you have to do to set up the auto tuner, other than to go into your settings and tell the Icom-718 that you're using a AH4 type of tuner. And I'll show you how to do that. And that's it. It's just that simple. It takes probably 5 minutes to set that up. Once you set up your antenna with the LDG auto tuner in the 718, you want to set the auto tune function on the Icom to AH4. And let me show you how to do that, and let's see if I can do this. You want to press the set key, and you have to bear with me here, and then power on the Icom. Now you can go through your different functions with your up and down, but you see where I have the tuner, it says tuner. Use your dial. That says no. That says 4. This one says 18. You want to set it to 4. Okay, once you see 4 on that screen, just power your radio off, and now the Icom-718 is set up to function with the LDG IT-100 tuner. Power back up. And we are tuned up. On the Icom-718, if you have the optional noise reduction, which you probably do, well, how do you turn that on? I've been asked. And let me show you. You come right here to the NR key, press it in and hold it. Now you see how it changed to the level on your screen? See how I adjust the noise level? And once you get it set to where you want it, just come right back over here, hit the NR button. So press your NR button, hold it in until you see the display change. Set your level, come back and hit it, and that's how you use the noise reduction feature on the Icom-718. You can also turn your mic right here. You can turn this into a CW keyer. You can do the dits and das right up here on the top of the microphone. All you got to do is go into your settings on the Icom and set your microphone up for a CW. I'm outside the house here, and I was going to show you the ground rod. That's all it is. I've got an 8-foot piece of 1/2-inch copper drove into the ground, and I've got my connectors. I put some tape around there. That's that vulcanizing tape just for a little protection. And you can see where I run it through the wall there. That's all you do on a ground rod. Let's go look at the antenna. Well, this is where I have the antenna set up. Got a little piece of flashing. I just kind of keep the rain from directly hitting the box. It's not necessary, but I did it. And here's the network box of the Ultimax antenna. Just screwed it onto the wood fence and screwed in the end of the coax, and that is it. Now you need to make you some air chokes, and here are the air chokes I've made. I've got 1, 2, 3. I got 7 turns on my air choke. You may need more, you may need less. You'll just have to experiment with that. And I'll show you how to make some air chokes here in just a few minutes. I also have my lightning arrestor set up there, and that's going to a separate ground all within itself. And then down here are my ground radials. I'm running 4 ground radials. It's not necessary with this antenna, but it's just gonna improve it. So I went ahead and put those in there. As you can see, I've got those going into the ground. But that's all you have to do to set up the Ultimax 100. So I'll show you how I have it connected to my fiberglass pole. There we go. The old flag looks like old George Washington used it, doesn't he? Gotta get me a new flag. That's all that is. That is a 33-foot J-type fiberglass telescopic pole, and that's where I have the end of the wire of the Ultimax antenna mounted to. And if I need to do any work on the antenna, you know, it don't take anything. You just start bringing her down, you can work on it and then telescope it right back up. And that is literally it for the antenna. And you can see I've got my wire. It's coming through the tree. I don't know how well it's picking up here. You can't really see the wire. I can, but if you get, I don't know, 100 foot away, you can't hardly see that wire. Anyway, I hope it's showing up. That's all you have to do. So let me go show you how to make an air choke. Well, okay, let's get to the technical part of this antenna. This is really some hard stuff, so pay attention. I'm going to make an air choke. And all you have to do to make an air choke is to take your coax, find you some 6-inch PVC. I'm using this Coffee Mate. I've even used big coffee cans this size. That's close. Close enough for government work. So we're going to make an air choke. And all you do is wrap her around. Just start wrapping. This coax is kind of cold. It's a little cool out over here in Texas today. So, that's all you do to make your air choke, is you just start wrapping that coax around. Of course, this coax isn't cooperating with me. But anyway, you get the idea. Just start wrapping your coax around. And then when you get the desired turns, I'll get me first I'll start off with twist ties to make sure I've got the correct number of turns on there. You can test it if you can get a antenna analyzer or something. Check your antenna out. It'll let you know if you got your RF coming back. If you need to add turns, we'll do it. If you don't, well then I'll just get me some tie-offs and get me some zip ties and zip tie it. I'll put 2 or 3 zip ties on it to hold it in place. And that is an air choke. And all you're doing is trying to keep RF from coming back down your coax into your radio. That's what the air choke's going to do. Always put your air choke out by your antenna. I even added right before my radio a couple of turns of air chokes on the back of the radio. I don't know if it's necessary, but I did it. That's all you have to do to make an air choke. Just start wrapping that coax around. Keep it neater than what I did. I can't do a good job because this coax is a little cold, but I think you get the idea of how to make an air choke. So, let's go back inside. It's cold out here. Well, that's all there is setting up the Icom, the Ultimax, and the auto tuner. It's really that easy, and don't let this shy you away. If you're new, I'm a new ham. I'm about 2.5 years into this, and I learned a lot from talking to my buddies. I learned a lot by trial and error. You can't be afraid to try it. Just jump in there and get after it and start doing it. It's really that easy to set up like I showed you. If you use the Ultimax, it takes literally 15 minutes to put that antenna up. The hardest part is burying the coax from your radio to the antenna. Other than that, that's all there is to it. Just plug it in, put your air chokes out by the antenna, run your wire out, and brother, you are on HF.